Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Division 5 semifinal matchup between First and ANZR. We will be playing on Utah Beach. I'm just waiting for the bass to drop real quick. All right. Turn down the music. Turn down off of the I can't say words, but hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing tonight? Today we have a nice little matchup. It looks like that is actually played on a different server. I don't know whose match that is, but apparently they're winning 4-1. I don't know who that is. Just gotta double check. So that is not the actual score. That's actually a score of a different game. But we are going to be streaming this match between First and ANZR on Utah Beach. We did one earlier on Utah Beach between WRTB and 3-5, with 3-5 taking that 5-0. And I would say just over an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes or something like that. I really didn't pay too much attention of when the game was actually won. Just double checking to see what server. We are Japan 3. And that is not an option, so I'll select another server. Alrighty. Here we have it. I think we're just waiting for a few more on ANZR side, but while they all get mustered up, let's take a look at the schedule for today or tonight. So right now, we are casting the last match of Saturday, which is ANZR First. Going on currently right now is R22R and SUDT, as well as 6th and Exodus, with Caparzo, Axhawk, and DonGotti casting all those. Obviously, the Exodus and 6th game, being a Division 1 game, will probably gain more attention, but this Division 5 has been a really interesting division to watch from kind of like the sidelines, I guess. Being as these two teams are both 3-1, as well as 22nd/4AD being 3-1. They are also playing right now against BCR. Unfortunately, due to some restraints on some of the casters and signups and stuff like that, we cannot cover all the matches, but we are providing you at least this Division 5 matchup. These two teams did face off, I want to say, in like week 4. I could be completely wrong about that, or week 5. With ANZR winning that on Foy against the First 3-2. So, you know, I think ANZR won that. I think. Yeah, ANZR won that 3-2 on Foy. But we're going to be playing on Utah. And I kind of hope we do get another win 7 point. I think that's the most fun point I feel like to fight over, but it's very frustrating because you're gonna die to RD and tanks and MGs and all that kind of stuff a lot. So yeah. We're gonna get right into the rule set as well. I forgot to do this on the other stream, but we do have rules in the Premier League, pretty similar to, you know, what Summit had last season, as well as other PC leagues if you are a PC watcher and enjoyer. One man RD, indestructible nodes, and Panther ban. The reason why for at least the Panther ban is just to even out the armor situation, because you could technically spawn in 2 heavy tanks, Tiger and a Panther, as the Germans, to the Americans and British and Soviets 1 heavy tank, that being the 76 IS, and whatever other heavy tanks they are for the British. Indestructible nodes and one man already kind of just go hand in hand, just because that recon loop just gets, I think, tiresome for both sides. So that rule those rules kind of just help flush that part of the game out. And yeah. And then if we look at, this is going to take a little bit to wrap in, but if we do look at the bracket, we will see who and how this Division 5 has kind of played out. That is not Division 5. I don't know why that's like that. That is D4. Hopefully, I think they might have actually screwed up the numbers on this. Holy. I think they did. I think this is... Did they screw up the numbers on it? They did screw up the numbers on it. So in Division 5, BCR and TRL faced off in the quarterfinals. I don't think TRL actually... I think they did play that game against BCR because I know TRL unfortunately just disbanded as a team or merged with another team under a new name. So good luck to all those guys part of that team. Thank you for playing this season of the Premier League. BCR did take that match 3-2, I believe, and they are going to be playing against 22nd, like I just stated. And the winner of these two matches here tonight, I think both actually being played at the same time, will face each other off in the Division 5 finals. With that being also said, this is in a 35v35 format. It's not going to be your typical 49v49, so just keep that in mind. So it's always interesting to see how tanks, armor, infantry, or tanks, infantry, like offense, defense, you know, how you play your recon. Kind of interesting how all those things, you know, how each team dedicates. Do they have, you know, 2 armor crews? Do they have, you know, just 1 and a bunch of infantry? Do they have 3 armor crews and, like, you know, a whole bunch of people on offense, maybe no one on defense? You know, it's very interesting to see how, like, these lower format games kind of work, of how they dedicate their resources out to. I think we're still just waiting for, I think, 1 player from ANZR, and we should get underway. I'm just gonna fly over and you can say hello to yourself back on the stream. From the first side of you, there's a Rad shooting a rocket. And then we're gonna fly over to the ANZR side real quick. You have to send a message into the Discord. ANZR, for those who you are unaware, it is an Australian and New Zealand team, so primarily Oceania, just given their name, obviously, as you can see on screen. And then first, primarily a US team. I want to say US East-based team? Could be completely wrong about that, but definitely a US team, without a doubt. And one chance. Your last player to get noticed by me. Down a message. They created a interesting death pit.
I just assumed it was Afro. Why bother? Come on, Tyler, say it just for us in blue chat, because nobody else will believe us that you actually did it.
Jesus Christ.
Baird.
Oh.
Don't worry, I clipped it, so I got proof.
We're just waiting for 1 player from ANZR to get into the game, and then we should be underway. Apologies for the slight delay in this, but hope everyone's having a good night. My phone's almost dead. Maybe there's more fun comms over here.
Hey, Mahojoe. wretched. That makes this block of cheddar cheese I'm slicing up in the back even more better. Sweet.
He's not even wretched, he just is. Right, that's your German space program. 3, 2, 1. I missed.
That is hilarious. Oh man, gotta love people. Oop, that is the wrong intro. Want to do that. Double checking. This is where we might be kind of buggy. Okay, just wanted to check that out real quick. I think we're gonna be flipping here shortly. I think ANZR's one of their players is unfortunately stuck in what it seems to be a protest rally. So we think we just got the go ahead to flip. And we will commence this final match of the night for the Premier League. It's been a fun season so far. Hopefully this match and the final matches that will be played tomorrow, as well as the actual final matches for all divisions 1 through 8 in the following weeks. I think it's split up into 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but gonna have some good matches ahead of us, this being no exception whatsoever. Gonna turn back to the map real quick. So, and then tomorrow we do have a few matches being casted between myself, Guskit, Axhawk, Smithers, and Caparzo. Kicking off the day will be Guskit doing SAP, and I think that's the wrong logo. I'm not entirely sure. Playing on 3 p.m. Eastern, and then myself and Axhawk will be doing Taco LGN for Division 1. And then to end the semifinals matches will be between Rage and HRB. Will be casted by Caparzo and Smithers. So check out tomorrow for those. And then while that you guys are staring at that, we have a map flip. 30 seconds until we go, ladies and gentlemen, of this Division 5 showdown on Utah. Gonna make sure I get all set and don't mess up anything. All right, and see what kind of points we do get here. And I always love switching to this. We are going to be a US side for this match. And we do get win 7 as the midpoint. All points in the south, so this will be a long riding find. I don't know why I'm walking in the water. But all southern points, we did see win 7 before. So I think if ANZR does take this, it's going to be very hard for them to actually capture win 5. Just because it is a very long distance in between both points. But I think it's very easy to hold. I don't know why that's coming up. It's very easy to hold once you get pushed into the G sectors. If you are the Germans, if you do push into the G sectors, it's very kind of easy to hold win 7, in my opinion. It's just a very long, grindy road to get to that point, though. On the flip side, for drowned fields or drowned fields, I'm really going to mess that up a lot. I know people have memed about that. I really don't care what people say. But like we saw in the WRTB 3-5 game earlier today, it's very doable for each team to control, especially this southern part right here. Very, very important to control that. We did see WRTB eventually lose this, and it actually, somewhat doomed them for the rest of the game, in my personal opinion. Maybe in 35's format, it'll be a little bit different itself. but we will find out in just a few moments here. Something that's gonna be very important is at least the north control of all sectors, depending on what active the 2 active points are, either Win 7 fields or Win 5. Alrighty, then if we go on the ANZR side of things, it's like they are waiting for another tank down here. I assume it's probably either an extra light or an extra recon. Bring the P4. Kind of surprised that they didn't bring this truck maybe a little bit more south, but don't want to risk any of that. Looks like they are bringing the Lux as well. Then a few in that truck as well, probably to be getting around them. First on the flip side, so they're bringing 2 trucks right there, so a little surprising about that. Again, I'm not sure why teams don't, you know, tend to go more south, but you know, it is what it is. We'll let those teams do their own thing, and we are gonna get ready and go. We are off. I keep messing up the caster intros and stuff like that. Is what it is. I don't care. We're going. Doesn't look like either team is going to do any sort of fun snipes. First, really hugging the border. It's like ANZR will probably get the hard cap first with the majority of their players in that first truck. This Puma could be very deadly here. He gets the right little shot. Oh man, that sucks. Don't know what just happened there, but oh no. Big rocket there from Fuzz to take out that initial recon tank. Recon tank probably would have died to this medium anyways. This first medium fight is going to be very key for either team to hold. Be very curious of where both teams will play their medium. First playing their medium super aggressive onto the midpoint. Buddha wipes out an OP of meat. Meat does get the refrag, but immediately dies to the MG. We're about to have that medium fight here in just a second or two. I think these mediums might clash here in just a second. I'm not sure if this Sherman knows exactly if this P4 is pushing. Oh, but Painty and the tank take out the medium Sherman, and that's going to boat really nicely for ANZR. But they are still currently losing the point. Just not enough bodies. Honestly, probably in the sector. Actually, no, they have plenty of bodies in the sector. They just have no one like in the hard cap for the most part. But are starting to flip back now. You can see ANZR really trying to get control of this main road in the north. Only tank that first really has is actually the Stewart. They do have a 76 coming out of the bottom HQ. And first is kind of hell-bent on just trying to maintain the hard cap itself, but with two tanks that are about to push in support of ANZR trying to get this hard cap back, it's going to be a little bit of a tall task for the Americans to take out these tanks. Carter with some nice kills. It looks like First really has full control of the hard cap other than the tanks. I don't know if Meat is trying to get down the satchel. I agree, they do have to get rid of that Lux if they do want to get this cap. And as you can also see, First is kind of all centralized, just trying to get into that actual hard cap, and they're kind of exposing themselves in the north. Red 5. Ursic. It's a lot of ANZR in the north. There's very good control from them. But like you heard from the first players, it is going to be very tough to get these tanks out of here. I'm very surprised they're not going to place any proxy satchels to maybe damage that Lux a little bit, or maybe even this P4. But this P4 is probably going to burn this OP, so I would not be surprised if Sledge, you know, tries to place down the satchel. Oh, but the 76 comes in and will take out that medium. They'll start flipping back into the favor of First now. But I do not believe this cap is done and over with, especially with all the ANZR that are in the north. Cap's just still flipping back and forth. Lux finally goes down, and that's going to start flipping the cap back into the First favor, actually gaining some cap progress. Yeah, Paney can maybe put up some work. That's 76 in support of this first cap on the Win 71, or Win 7, excuse me. It's gonna be a real thorn for ANZR to overcome right now. I think they do have a Tiger on the top left of your screen right now. You can barely see it, but I can kind of see it. Very curious what this Stewart's trying to do. I think the Stewart burns no P. And he's just gonna... He's trying to go for this Lux. Oh my gosh, look at that turn. Oh, oh my gosh. You can barely see that there's a Stewart in this bush, dude. And that will be a cap for the first. Make it a 3-2 game into their favor. I think I'm 1 second behind, but that's okay. It's like first does have a garrison and some players in the north, the very far north. And it looks like a Tiger and 76 are engaging with each other. Oh, the Tiger 76 misses and the Tiger will take him out, but the Stewart from behind now. Oh, the Stewart misses. I'm not sure what this tank is stuck on, to be completely honest, but that is unfortunate as hell. Oh man, what is going on? I don't think this Stewart's gonna live too much longer. Oh no, not the Stewie. Oh, the Stewart missed. The Tiger's backed up by the rep station. Destroys the rep station and turrets the Stewie. And the Stewart's gonna drive away. Oh man, it's one of the most awkward fights I've ever seen. Stewart will drive away and live another day. Oh, what is going on? The Stewart's moves are insane right now. Oh, and Buddha misses his rocket, and the Stewart's gonna run away. So is the Tiger. Stewart crew somehow survives whatever that was. Take a look at the map. First really heavy moves in like the past few minutes. Still trying to, you know, dislodge ANZR of the positions that they currently hold. They are making some sort of progress. Carter and Joker on that front line. This is like a spot that you cannot lose if you are ANZR. You really don't want to lose this spot. Carter places down his OP. Token. The Tiger's back in action. Not sure first do have another 76. Actually, Garrison's down from Avocado and Paney. Payne. I think it's Payne. I don't want to call him Paney. Avocado gonna knock down both on the AT gun. Cream with the hip fire. We'll take him out. The Stewart's gonna try to joust this Tiger once again. Stewart, unfortunately, is having some up, and Stewart got tracked. Oh man, the Stewart is dead, but wasn't having a good time. All back up here in the north. We'd be very curious if First can try to get something back here in the back lines of Drowned Fields. We saw that really, you know, a successful, you know, take of that point earlier today when, you know, 3-5 kind of, you know, as soon as they kind of took this and had, you know, some sort of northern pressure, they kind of just all converged on the Drowned. First could, you know, maybe their game plans to do something similar to what 3-5 did earlier today, or, you know, maybe they're gonna go in with their own, you know, different game plan. This is one thing that a lot of SLs I feel like should do more, is just stay alive. No need to engage. You have, you know, lots of people around you. But, you know, Carter tried to survive as long as he could. I think as soon as that next heavy is coming back, but a lot of the front door of ANZR is now pushing closer and closer to the Win 7 hard cap itself. Buddha and Edge. Massive spawn wave. Looks like we do have an ANZR bombing run. This could get really juicy here. Don't know how many people are going to try to run inside the building. Looks like Joker will make it inside. Not sure if that's going to get the garrison or not onto the point. Actually do not believe it is. Small possible misuse of the bombing run if that was directly over these houses. Could have been very, very juicy for ANZR to push and potentially even cap Win 7 with that, but still plenty of time in this match. I think Avocado has him actually. You kind of go in between these in this barbed wire. You're kind of pretty much stuck in there until you gonna go to that trench. You see what ANZR is trying to do is trying to, you know, slowly take this north and then kind of get some sort of crossfire into the south towards the hard cap. They're doing actually a very excellent job of doing that. Actually get very interesting up here in the north too. White Wedding. Onslaught does get the kill. Thought he was inside the house. But Goofy and Louie leading the charge for ANZR. Oh, Nemo goes flying a little bit. Wow, a huge grenade by one of those three. Either Goofy or Louie that had that, tossed that grenade, and now ANZR in very prime position. Tiger even advancing up. I'm not sure where the 76 is at. I think 76 is in the actual south. Not sure if he's going to actually get a angle on him or not. He very well could. It's an angle that you really don't expect a Tiger to make on, but given it the small format, you can do, you know, some sort of, you know, odd plays that you really can't get away with in 49s. I don't think 76 is going to back up and try to engage him. We'll blow up a rep station. Other Tiger is actually trying to engage the 76 too. We do have an first bombing run. Not how sure how good this will be. Pretty much going to be ineffective. Just obscuring the line of sight of that Tiger for a tad bit. But Edge and Buddha just still trying to push into that trench across that field. It looks like, you know, first did regain this house in the north, which is very key for them to hold. Not sure if, looks like first does have a guy or a player behind them, done behind them by Drowned Fields. Looks like first is trying to add more barbed wire to the barbed wire that is around Win 7. Wish they could make it to where you can blow up default barbed wire, but big ricochet there from the Tiger tank. Not sure if this Tiger will try to re-peek him. The ANZR, pretty good line. It's basically right there. The second 76 is upcoming. But he actually just missed that Tiger that was kind of holding that main road by this field. And I think he's actually going to engage this other 76 here. Don't know if they're going to do a double peek or what. The Tiger is a little bit weak. 76 does get a shot in. Tiger does miss. The Tiger's going to back away just before that second shot does get landed. very interesting to see what these Tigers have planned. So it looks like... Yes, looks like they just took out a garrison back here with Jack and Dunn. Just kind of roaming these back lines, really trying to take out all the ANZR resources, taking out a rep station as well. Can open up the door for them a tad bit. Tank fight is commencing. 76 might go down, and he will go down. Very unfortunate for that tank crew. Getting double tapped by 2 Tigers. Looks like this other 76 is going to try to join in the fun as well. She might have a shot onto that Tiger. Not believe he does anymore. But I think ANZR is calling out this position of the 76. Gets one shot into him. Apologies for the slight language. Shot goes into the far back 76. I don't know if... Yes, he will go down. Well played from ANZR there, taking out both 76s within 3 minutes or so. But again, it is win 7 as the midpoint. I feel like at this point, if you are ANZR, you do have the armor advantage. They're not going to really have an armor heavy for quite a bit still, so you have to use that advantage to, you know, push in to this point with your armor supported by your infantry, so you can get your infantry in there, start capping it, start flipping this point, because you only get so many opportune chances with win 7 to cap it. And I think it's when, you know, you have the clear armor advantage. Once you have that clear armor advantage, because they are burning up, you know, a 3rd Tiger now. No, so they're gonna have a huge armor advantage for pretty much the rest of the game, unless, you know, these all tanks, you know, do all die. They have to take that advantage right now and start pushing, which they are starting to do. Obviously trying to get one repped up. So how is ANZR first going to respond to this now? Looks like ANZR, looks like they are going to use a bombing run. Don't know if that's actually going to wipe out the on-point Gary or not. Yes, it will. Pearson is down. 3 tanks are pushing, and the cap is starting to flip. Looks like I did see a medic there on the field. We got some medic action. Let's go. Sledge just hits the tracks of that 76. Unfortunate for first is they really can't probably get over this fence. Try to take out these tanks. And actually, first is starting to cap on the field. Simple Jack, the only person in the sector, was actually capping it. Down goes that AT gun. The tank does end up blowing up. Pretty sure he did get satcheled. But 1 Tiger is down, so that's a huge plus for ANZR, or for first. Actually, airhead. I didn't even see this airhead come down. Airhead is down. I'm not sure if this crew actually knows that. Are they going to spawn kill this airhead with an AT gun? Or is Nemo going to get a grenade on it? Oh, the tank's beautifully covering up that airhead spawn. Pearson is down here, as you can see by Duck and Carter. Actually, Garrison does go down too by Sledge. Unfortunately, Sledge also misses a rocket, which is a huge wave of ANZR. And then Artie coming down too. Looks to be an ANZR cap, unless first do have a little bit of a miracle here. Bombing run is coming down. It won't take out the airhead. ANZR could still spawn onto it. Spawning, I think, on the Garrison. I think they just rebuilt that, but did just get absolutely obliterated by this Tiger tank. Oh, man. Big Rad's from behind now. Let's get the satchel onto this far back Tiger. ANZR have not quite capped this yet. It's very close. It's very contested from both teams. Big spawn wave does happen on the Garrison. And that will flip to a 3-2 in favor of ANZR now. Tiger tank does go down from that satchel. But ANZR not out of the clear yet. You know, first still do have, you know, some players in the point. It's just not a lot of ANZR actually in the point as well, which is very odd to see right now. It honestly feels like a lot more firsts are in the sector than ANZR. Airhead's now coming down from the first. I think they kind of recognize that the only thing really on the point is that Tiger tank. And they are starting to flip the cap back into their favor. So despite ANZR with a nice little push there to get Win 71 back, it's unfortunately going to be all for nothing, as, you know, I think some of the squad leads either got their OPs wiped at the wrong time or they just didn't place them down. I think that was like the main thing, is when you cap a point, you need to place on your OP still. Rad's trying to style satchel, unfortunately, just get cut down by the spinning Tiger tank. I think this Tiger is still in hard cap. I think this Tiger's in hard cap. Yes, he's barely in hard cap. A lot of first. Back on the Win 71 point. Very curious if ANZR has done anything. Yes, it looks like they have, you know, made some people come back to Win 5. Just recon back there, I assume. Actually, there's a tank back here as well. Interesting. Like a Puma's trying to come save the day. Not sure, so sure how, Yep, that did not really last long for that Puma. Sledge is gonna try to run and get a satchel back on into another tank. He's been all over it today. A lot of infantry to guard this tire tank. This feels like the last like few minutes of a game right now, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like one satchel will just clear up all this nonsense. I'm still unsure about this tank back here. It looks like it's just a two-man. Oh, and Dowie dies to a mine. And it's just the ANZR armor that's essentially like in the hard cap itself. .76 attracting a lot of attention. It's like a bomb run is coming down, but I assume from the ANZR side of things to try to clear up this entire point. Take out a few players, but unfortunately it just looks like ANZR is still losing their gunfights to first. Tank getting hit by multiple rockets into the tracks. Defense is still on for ANZR. Keep in mind, the ANZR controls this point, and this has been a while, like last 10 minutes, if I do have to say so myself. Holy, it's been a nice little mid-cap fight, then a little bit of a first control. ANZR gets their armor back up, and now it's just Jesus. Finally seen ANZR somewhat get inside the courtyard, but still basically under first control. Don from behind actually puts a satchel onto this one Tiger who actually only has one crewman, and then Meat at the same time will put on another satchel. Heck of a play by those two players, just somehow flanking, I assume, from this OP from Dunn. And Blind Spray trying to get down the satchel. I don't think he exactly knows where it's at. It's unfortunately on the other side of the tank, right where he's not looking. I think he sees it now, but I think it's a little bit too little too late. And he will go down, and that's 2 Tigers down within a minute. Just this one Tiger now. Cream's gonna get one, rocket into the back. You think Simple Jack will do the exact same thing. He actually has a satchel. Jack with a satchel, and that's a 3rd Tiger that is satcheled within the last 2.5 minutes. Lots of ANZR from the north. Airhead is coming down. This is an ANZR airhead. It's actually, that is an ANZR airhead, and it's a first bombing run. It actually attracted a lot of ANZR folks to that airhead itself, which actually, in my opinion, opens up the door for ANZR to actually defend that. Oh man, Joe is trying. Joe the crewman almost gets hit by a rocket. Looks like we do have a Puma back there. Yeah, and with that, like, first is fully reset. They don't have any sort of OPs. 2 garrisons on the field. Oh, that is such a heartbreaker if you're the first. Everyone's spawning back at the Win 5 garrison. Only Joker and Django, the only ones with OPs still over here. And they need to set those down, because if they don't, it's a long run like the rest of their team. Good thing they are winning their gunfights. But it's only a matter of time before they do end up going down. Oh man, that's so unfortunate if your first ANZR took the time to take the north, take out the front door garrisons basically as well. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of people spawning on Joker's OP, the only OP basically within hundreds and hundreds of meters of the point. But Joker's main thing is he just needs to stay alive. If he can just hide and stay alive, they will be fine. We kind of look more towards Win 5. Some gunfights are happening over here, but nothing too crazy to really take note of. This is mostly just due to Joker's OP, and then this, you know, I guess the 76 actually. I'm very surprised First recovered as well as they did, without ANZR really taking advantage of basically what they had. Obviously, you know, we're in admin cam and we have all the view in the world of what's going on, but oh, I think the 76 just actually turreted the Puma, which is so unfortunate. Looks like another airhead is coming down. This to be a first airhead. So this is another thing I forgot to mention with these games is you're going to see a lot more bombing runs. You're going to see a lot more airheads. Not only because the resources are more, you know, I would say, you know, fruitful, but there's less people to see the airheads and stuff like that. Nice rocket there by Pene. Like, there's less people to see the airheads. You know, you're always going to have the resources for an airhead for the most part. Just because less people do die, so you gain those extra, you know, 15 resources or whatever a minute. You know, bombing runs you're going to use more just because you're going to have so much munitions compared to, like, all the AT guns that Division 1 teams build for the most part. So, you know, you're always going to have, like, those resources available at the most time. Even tanks. You could even, you know, argue spawning in tanks or, like, half-tracks. Oh, there's someone's... Oh, that's just leaves. Like, I'm just staring at leaves. Oh, man. Also, surprise. Looks like Don's getting hunted down. Does get down one. See if... Oh, she does get cut down by Shelby, it seems like. But, you know, first still have this garrison up here in the north. Very surprised ANZR hasn't snuffed that out yet. Rads is going to probably try to go for a satchel onto this house. Yes, he is going to satchel that house. A look at the map again. Looks like they did build a second red zone garrison. A little surprising about that, but I thought Rads and all of them were gonna knife each other. Very curious what's happening back here. We see a lot of action back here. I don't know where Django's going. So just under 40 minutes to go. If you're just joining me here tonight, this is a Division 5 matchup between First and the ANZR here on Utah Beach for the Premier League. It's a 35v35 matchup. Start the match. We had First taking the points after a pretty grueling, I would say, 10 minutes of fighting or so. Holding it for about another 10, 15 or so minutes, and then ANZR taking it by basically wiping out all of the First armor, and then it was a very wild pass, I would say 20 minutes, until about maybe just 5 minutes ago, where it was basically still a fight over mid, always contested for the most part for about 15 straight minutes. And now it's pretty in control of ANZR, so. But like we always say in the game of Hell Loose, anything is possible. You can still win, even when there's 2:01 on the clock, so. I expect nothing less from both these teams to duke it out for the remaining 38 minutes or so. And this kind of goes to show you, like, what I said kind of about Win 7 as a point. it's a pretty even point to fight over, but once you do lose it, it's very hard for you to take it back, and first are kind of down that experience right now. They actually have a half track behind this tank. This is an interesting strategy. I don't necessarily agree with this because the half track can still get destroyed by Artie. I kind of do like the concept. Half track is green, so I assume they are waiting for, you know, a spawn to happen on it. I really don't agree with this half track play, I'm not gonna lie. It's very interesting. I kind of like it. It's something obviously completely different than I've ever seen before in Hella Loose. Really waiting for a spawner to happen on this half track. Yeah, like I said, looks like we only have one person spawn on the half track, and as soon as that Artie does hit, it's going to destroy the half track. It's getting a little bit close. 76 is on the wrong side of the barbed wire. Let's hop out. Oh, but he does die. This Artie is really trying to knock down this half track. Kind of just waiting for this half track to blow up. To be completely honest with you. But we'll let this half track go. And down it goes. Unfortunate, but you know, that's what just happens. I love the play, it just, in practice, it just doesn't really work out. I think one thing that First does have going for them is they do basically have control of, you know, between this OP, the garrison, and kind of the crossroads. They basically have all of that under control. And that is in the cap sector of Win 71, so maybe if they do, you know, put down an airhead, something like that over there, or, you know, if they can maybe get control where Sledge is at, they can get something up behind there and really, you know, throw ANZR for a loop a little bit. But at the same time, they cannot overextend themselves, because if you lose Win 5, it's almost a GG in my personal opinion. Win 5 is... It's a weird point because it's hard to get, but it's easy to lose. And if you do lose it as Americans, it's, I think, just as hard, especially with Uncle Red being the subsequent 5th point. See some action over here. Oh man, that man went into the firing squad of people. Full effect. Getting his refrag. I always forgot that weird ass spot. feel like any second now, ANZR... I'm just very surprised not to see any ANZR armor. Like, they have a Lux back here, but I don't know where any other tanks are at. Trying to find them, but I really don't see them, and I don't think First really recognizes that they do have an armor advantage, I think, right now. I think they have an armor advantage. Looks like there is a tiger coming up all the way in the distance over there. Actually, it looks like there's two tigers. Puma. That's a puma and a tiger. But they still have an armor advantage, but again, it's a very tricky point to take back. Lots of open ground to cover. MGs for both teams are going to be vastly important. Still plenty of time for either team to make a move onto the next point for each other. Looks like First is starting to make some progress into the hard cap. Homicidal Duck will be the first one to touch it in quite some time. Searching for the garrison. Oh man, misses by both of them, and Tommy Shelby will punish Duck for not killing him. Joker back on the SP. You know, one little hidden spot that people don't realize that they can put their OP in is by this trench over here. Not a lot of people know that that's a good spot to put an OP. It's just kind of like out of the area. But as I say that, Avocado would have probably wiped it out. And Joker does unfortunately go down for his sake of things. Looks like that Luke's tank did eventually finally go down. Just under a half hour to go here. I think we do have a tank battle between Tiger and a 76. 76 did get the first shot in, but Tiger will back off in time. Now, still plenty of time for First to make their move, but they have to make some sort of, you know, progress to eventually make that one move. We take a look at the map. Looks like ANZR Recon is being a little bit of a pain for the commander for First. Kind of their backline got wiped out too, as far as the red-blue zone backline for First. They just have to make some sort of progress somewhere to make that move, because you can't just, you know, bank on a bomber run airhead. It's like these tanks are re-engaging here. Each do trade around. Will force this tank to back off a little bit. Yeah, because like I was saying, like, you really can't bank on a bomber and airhead, because I would say 9 times out of 9.5 it just doesn't work, like, at all. Bomber and airheads. So You know, you have to like make some sort of progress, which, you know, they are trying to do. ANZR is doing a good job at stopping them for the time being, but to be that 76 and Tiger are probably going to re-engage each other here in just a few moments. It's a very key tank fight in my personal opinion. If this 76 can, you know, focus on hitting this house, it could really bode well for the 1st Infantry. The tanks are re-engaging. Looks like an AT gun there from Louis. Looks like a P-strike as well. Louis did get 2 shots to the AT gun, or with the AT gun. This tank barely squeaked by the P-strike. Look, sounds like we have a Puma. We do have a Puma. Oh no. Oh no. We might have a Puma killing a 76. Oh no. Oh, the tank is turning around just in time. Oh, but you gotta run, buddy. And he from behind. Oh my gosh, what killed him back here? A Tiger. Huge team play from ANZR. Oh my gosh, it looks like they did actually kill this 76 as well down here, or up here in the north. Oh, that's gotta hurt, man. 2 assists given to that Tiger tank. Holy. Well, it's 2 kills, but like assisted by 2 players, that being the AT gun of forget who exactly that was. I think it was Paney or Louis. I think it was Louis. And then that, oh man, that hurts though if you're first, and looks like they are starting to get a little bit contested on the defensive point. Just seems to be recon, and probably that recon tank, actually. Yes, it is. It looks like they did wipe out the red blue line garrison with that Puma as well. First finally getting control of this house, but kind of lost control of everything else for the most part. It's an odd spot for a garrison. Oh, I think the Puma just ran over somebody. Woozy. And I don't know who else that was. Evasive? Like Airhead is coming down for first Airhead bombing run. This actually will wipe out the garrison spawn, I do believe, and this could wipe out the Puma as well. If this Puma does not move. Does not wipe out the Puma. Airhead is gone though. Pretty surprised that the bomb run did not kill that. But look behind, there is a garrison behind the point. Looks like Payne is on the case for that one. And it probably will lock out here in just a second. There is a Tiger tank back here as well. There are some huge kills here from Payne or Dunn. I think Dunn's staring at her map. She will go down and will kill Duck, and that's gonna lock out the garrison. And looks like this Tiger tank will actually knock out this garrison. So, you know, only one OP down too as well. So first did make their play, just didn't maybe execute the way they wanted to. ANZR very on top of their game, recognized that that was a problem, and quickly shut that down. But one thing that's still back here is an OP that Sledge is just gonna walk up and satchel this Tiger now. It's gonna be very unfortunate for that Tiger. Does kill the TC that does hop out. Tiger tank will go down to that satchel. Just under 20 minutes to go now, folks. This is where the game starts to heat up a little bit for the first war. This is where you kind of have to throw, you know, kind of everything that you have on the table, because after 20 minutes, your season is done. First are eliminated from competing for a championship. While the winner, which if it, you know, this game does continue on until the end, ANZR will be playing in the finals for Division 5. Looks like there's a medium down here, but there's a, oh no, this medium gets popped right away. Unfortunately for first, they're just getting, I think, a little bit of bad timing on a lot of their things. I'm so surprised this Puma's still up, by the way, too. Oh, huge arty splash. What this Puma's gonna do? They have a garrison over here? They do not, but there is another tank back here. Hits him once and is trying to get out of there, but he will finally go down. First finally ends that Puma's tear. Buddha takes out Dunn. Red finally takes out, and ANZR finally lose the house. First finally takes it. Now it's kind of a little bit of an actionless, you know, last few minutes here, other than, you know, some tanks dying and whatnot, but I think this is the time where First are really going to put their foot down onto the gas and try to win this match. You can see they're basically all lining up here and right in the north. Dunn and her squad doing a good job of kind of, you know, distracting ANZR a little bit, pulling people off of the hard cap itself, making sure there is a little bit of room. It's a little bit more easy to, you know, get into the hard point and win more gunfights with more people. I think the biggest thing is going to be these tanks. So we are gearing up for a tank fight here in just a second. Tiger gets hit once, but little as you know, you can actually shoot through this, and he does die. Oh, that good shot by that tank crew right there. Knock out that Tiger. Not quite sure how many more Tigers ANZR will have, or if they do have one up right now. But now, since First does have armor up on the field, they have 276s. They're going to have to start making their move to try to win this game, and they are starting to flip the point a slight bit. Cap Rockers has not quite started. But First are, I guess, doing some Katushka rocket snipes. But they're gonna have to start moving up these 76s. And honestly, for this kind of point, the sooner kind of the better to take this point. You know, if you can slightly reset this team a tad bit, you know, it's hard to gain that ground back. It's like Rads, Red and Meats, Tech, Keswick trying to lead the charge. Looks like all First's push did get wiped out for the moment. Not quite sure if their OPs or OPs actually got wiped out. And their garrison on the front door. So gearing up for that attack, they kind of just let, you know, ANZR just wipe out their spawns. Meat is a medic. We got a medic on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, we have did it. Meat does get cut down, trying to throw all of his smoke grenades. I think ANZR is also going to start to tighten up a little bit more around the point. It's basically trying to push into Fort Knox right now if you are First. We do have a bomber run coming down for ANZR. That is an ANZR bombing run. It's honestly not going to do too much. We do have a P4 on the point. So you got all these tanks back here, even a half track. I don't know why there's a half track in between all these rep stations, but if you're first, you're gonna have to start moving up this armor a little bit more. It's getting towards that point where you have to start taking, I would say, risks that, you know, if it does not work out, it's because you at least tried, but you know, it's a risk you're gonna have to take though, because just under 12 minutes, one of these teams this season is unfortunately over for them. But no, only a P4. I'm not sure if ANZR does have a... They do have a Tiger tank all the way in the back. Probably try to snipe if first does do a push. Sure if first is trying to get something up here in the north or not. Or if Dunn will run into bloke here. Fortunate for Dunn. Does run into bloke, but will get shot down. First trying to make some progress on here. This is kind of step one of the take this point, is to retake this house. Retake this two-story. They are starting to lose the majority of their gunfights. Uh-oh, and Tommy takes down Crank, trying to replace his OP. Oh, and a huge spawn wave. I assume that's on the half track. No, it's a garrison that's over here now. But that garrison is getting farmed by artillery. Gets his revenge, gets goofy, gets big. First starting to make a little bit of progress. They don't have their OPs down. Bombing run and airhead are going to come down. Not sure if... I don't think either of them know. Airhead is good to go. But it looks like the Tiger and Payne will take out this airhead. And the 76s are pushing. At least one of them is. Yep, both of them are pushing onto the point. This is going to be first move with 7 minutes to go. Playing a lot more aggressive. Airhead is down. Looks like ANZR will all be also using their own airhead. Unfortunately, it's right in front of the 76. But we are about to have ourselves a nice 7-minute fight here for a chance to compete in the D5 finals. It's honestly going to come down to these tank fights. One Tiger gets a hit onto that 76. 76 does trade him back with his own shot. Ricochets. But this other Tiger has a beat on him a little bit. That one Tiger will take out one of the 76's. Advantage will go into ANZR with the armor advantage. One of the Tigers is still up and running though. Or 76 is still up and running. I just don't think, oh, he doesn't know. 76 does not know. Gets hit once. And unfortunately, with all the action that is happening with these tanks, and down goes the second 76. Unfortunately, pushed up a little bit too late. A second Tiger will be coming onto the hard cap, I assume. Versus trying to push back into win 7. Fourth point did get contested for a tad second. They even have the half track here with Philip in the half track shooting the MG. Trying to lay down some suppressive fire. A lot of firsts going on to the point. Joker does miss the half track. The thing is, these tanks are not in the hard cap, so if first does start flipping it, this could get interesting here with these tanks not in the hard cap. Abtract does get taken out by Joker. I don't believe there is a 76. Yes, there is 176, but he's pretty much going to have to snipe these two tanks. Especially this first Tiger if they do want a chance at winning this match. But it really does look like ANZR is going to hold on to this game. Looks like we do have an ANZR bombing run coming out. That's gonna wipe out all the first just north of the hard cap. Lots of OP still over here, but I think MacD might do a nice little clean swipe. Just under a minute. Oh, already knocks out that entire spawn wave. But Artie's also hitting their own men. Burst is desperately trying with 40 seconds. Big spawn wave onto that OP. 16 seconds. We do have a tank fight between 76 and a Tiger, and it looks like the Tiger will probably come out on top of this, and yes, he will. And that's going to cap off this semifinals matchup between ANZR and First. ANZR will be moving on to the finals and awaiting their winner of the 22nd and BCR match. So congrats to both these teams. No shame whatsoever with First. This was a very, very tough game for both of these teams. Duked it out here on Utah Beach. Hold your heads high. It could have honestly went either way, but in the end, ANZR will be coming out on top of this one. Whew. See what this Tiger has left in him, just splashing around. Earning OPs. But getting the last few kills for both teams, pad their stats a tad bit. Unfortunately for First, this will be the end of your Premier season run. Do want to shout you guys out for an incredible season in Division 5. And then obviously congrats to ANZR for winning up this match here. Division 5 finals is going to be a doozy, I think. And as the clock ticks away, this will end the game. And I just want to say congrats again to First and ANZR, an incredible match. Good luck to ANZR in your finals of whoever you guys will face. And then turning your attention real quick to the rest of the schedule for this weekend for the semifinals. Got 3 matches going on tomorrow. I will be casting the Taco and Legion game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a fun little matchup. I think that's also on Omaha Beach. I think a lot of beach maps. So be sure to look out for that one. But that's going to do it for me. Wish you guys all good night. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.